Hello students. So in the last class we have covered your convolution, then how to calculate convolution. That is, in order to find the system response, I have discussed about two types of method. That is the tabular method to finding the convolution of a finite sequence, and thereafter we have discussed about how by using the definition of convolution we find the response of the system. Thereafter we have discussed about few properties of convolution, that is commutative law, associative and distributive law. All these law obeys by the convolution. So till now you have cleared about, so convolution is a mathematical operation to find the response when find the response in time domain when excitation, that is xn, input xn and system response hn is given. So convolution is a mathematical operation and which is valid only for LTI system. That means the system must be a linear time invariant. The system must be a linear time invariant, and for that purpose only we can apply convolution to find the response of the system. So in this lecture we will study about the interconnection of LTI system. That means when two or more systems are present, two or more LTI systems are connected, then how to find the equivalent or overall impulse response. So you can see here the first type of connection is the system can be connected either in two way, as a parallel connection or in series connection, or we can say that in cascade connection. So cascading means the series connection, and this connection is known as your parallel connection. So I have drawn the picture diagram for this parallel connection. So you can see the first system is H1n and the second system is H2n, both are connected in parallelly, and we have applying a input xn and we are getting output in. Here this is a adder. So how to calculate the overall system response? So the proof is not in your syllabus, that's why I am directly writing. So whenever two systems are connected in parallel, whenever two systems connected in parallelly, then the overall system response is nothing but the addition of these two systems. That means this is equivalent to xn h1n plus h2n yn. So this is nothing but xn h1n plus h2n yn. So you can directly prove with this, that is xn is convolution with h1n, then xn convolution with h2n, then both are added, then we will got yn. We can prove this, that is xn convolution with h1n plus xn convolution with h2n, that will give you yn. So xn convolution with h1n, xn again convolution with h2n, that will give you, and both are added, then we will get yn. So take xn as common. So you have, if you take the xn as common, then we have h1n convolution with h1n plus, so xn convolution, so you will get h1n plus h2n. So this is equal to yn. So you can draw like this. So whenever two systems are connected in parallel, then overall system response becomes the addition of these two response. So if I have n number of systems, then you have to add all the impulse response first, then find the convolution with xn, we will get the yn. So here I have taken example for two systems. When two systems connected in parallel, the overall system response become the addition of these two systems. So then the next connection will be your cascade connection. Next connection will be your cascade connection. So cascade connection means we'll have two systems, for example, it can be two or more, H1n and H2n, and we have the response as yn, and here this is xn. So remember, when two systems are connected in this types, that is your cascade, this type of connection is known as series connection or cascading of two systems. This is system 1, this is system 2. System 1 response is H1n and system 2 response is H2n. This is equivalent to, whenever two systems are connected in cascade, the overall system response becomes the convolution of 2. So H1n convolution with H2n, then we have xn, and then we have yn. So overall system response you can see here is the convolution. So for example, if three systems are connected in cascade, then the overall system response, that is, suppose this overall system response becomes, for example, Hn. So the overall system response Hn is equal to H1n convolution with H2n. So here two systems are connected in cascade. So the overall system response Hn is equal to the convolution of these two systems. Suppose more than two systems are connected, then that must be convolved with the system response. So in series, so obviously you have to remember two things. This is very, very important. If two systems connected in parallel, the overall system response is nothing but the addition of impulse response, individual impulse response of the system. If two systems are connected in cascade, the overall system response is the convolution of the individual system response. So this is all about your interconnection of LTI system. So next chapter we will study about, now we will complete the remaining system, that is FIR and IIR system, that we will discuss. So next, this is one of the important concept of FIR system, that is finite impulse response system. So finite impulse response system means if the impulse response of the system, is of finite duration. Finite duration means we can count the number of samples. Obviously, we can count the number of samples. So whenever you are able to count the number of samples present in the impulse response, then that impulse response is of finite duration, and that finite duration impulse response system is known as a FIR system. So depending on this is very, very important with respect to your filter designing. So when you will study about the digital filter designing, there I will discuss elaborately about this concept, that is FIR and IIR, because the filter is designed based on this finite impulse response systems or infinite impulse response system. So here I am given an example Hn. So you can see here Hn is 1 for n is equal to -1 to 2 for n is equal to 0, 0 other. That means we have only 3 samples are present. 3 samples are present. We can count because Hn is 1, that is amplitude is 1 for n is equal to -1, that is time -1 and time 2. At time 0 the amplitude 2. At time for any other time value the amplitude is 0. So that's why this type of system response is known as your FIR system. So another example I can write, this is very, very important. In FIR system we will find yn is equal to, suppose, xn plus x of n minus 1. So this is an example of FIR system, because in FIR system the output only depends on the present and past values of input. Present and past values of input doesn't depend on the past value of output. This type of system is also known as your FIR system. So या तो इस तरह का इक्वेशन देगा, नहीं तो ये इम्पल्स रेस्पॉन्स के टर्म में देगा, ठीक है. तो these are the two examples of finite impulse response. So from the example only we can recognize that a system is a FIR system or a IIR system. So if the output depends only on the present, that is, this is the present value of input and this is the past value of input, x of n minus 1, then only the system is a FIR system. If output depends on its own past value, y of n minus 1 for example, then the system becomes a IIR system. So that we will see. So next concept is IIR system. So next type of system is IIR system, that is infinite impulse. IIR stands for infinite impulse response. So the name itself signify here that the impulse response must be a uncountable, that means infinite duration, that we cannot count the number of samples. In the previous example we have seen we have 3 samples present and that is a finite duration impulse response. In this case I have written example 2 to the power n un. So obviously for n greater than or equal to 0, that is from 0 to infinity, we can find the impulse response. So that's why this type of impulse response is a infinite duration impulse response. That's why the system is known as infinite impulse response. Or in terms of output and input, we can see another example. Yn is equal to xn plus suppose x of n minus 1 and y of n minus 1. So obviously this system this is an example of here the output not only depends on the present and past value input but also the past value of output. So this type of system is known as infinite impulse response system. So next categorization of the system is stable and unstable system. So an LTI system is stable if it produces bounded output for every bounded input. That means the system must produce bounded output if you are giving a bounded input to the system. That means what is meant by this bounded? Bounded means the amplitude must be less than infinity. For any value of time, the amplitude should not be tending to infinity. The amplitude must be a finite value. So that is xn magnitude. Here I have taken the magnitude. So the mod of xn, that is the amplitude of the xn, for at any value of time is less than infinity. That means this is a bounded input you are applying to the system, and this is a bounded input. This is bounded input, and that system must produce bounded output. So that type of system is known as your stable system. That means if you are applying a bounded input, you will get the bounded output. So that type of system is known as your stable system. Mathematically, how to verify this is a input or output? You can observe from the input and output. If input is bounded, the output must be bounded. Otherwise, the system is an unstable system. Or if input and output is not given, suppose the system response is given, then how to calculate? For that case, the next condition for the system to be stable, that is the impulse response. The impulse response of the system is absolutely summable. The impulse response of the system is absolutely summable. Is the another second condition for the system to be stable. So you can check by this, or we can check this impulse response absolutely. So mathematically, how to define? So mathematically, I can write here. So mathematically, Hn, the magnitude of Sn, that is varying from summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity, must be less than infinity. That means if you sum all the value of the impulse response from minus infinity to infinity, that must be, that give you the finite value. So that type of system is known as, this is another condition for stable system. So in your exam they will ask you when a system is stable. So you can say the first condition is when you are applying a bounded input, the system must produce the bounded output. That means finite amplitude input you are applying and you are getting also finite amplitude output. And the second condition is if the system response is given, that means the system response is, that is input and output is not given and the system response is given, and if that system response is absolutely summable, that is absolutely summable means when you add the all the samples from minus infinity to infinity, the result will be a finite value, then the system is known as a stable system. So thank you. So next class we will conclude this module, then we will start about the jet transform. So thank you.